Want entertainment designed just for you? Then check out customizable streaming TV from Xfinity. It makes your life simple, easy, awesome.
Xfinity gives you customizable streaming TV options. Enjoy the most free shows anywhere on any device, and even access your streaming apps right on your TV with X1. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today to learn more. Restrictions apply.
And welcome to Aquarian Radio at aquarianradio.com. And I'm your host, Janet Carol Lesson, with my co-host, Alexandra Bernardis. This name of the show is Create Paradise. And today our guests are Dr. Raja, the first hour, with an intermission at 9 p.m., but depending on your time zone, yeah, that's Eastern. Then we will come back with Ted Mahr. And Alexandra, are you there?
Hi, everybody. Good evening.
Hi. Yeah, our cue board is lighting up. And Alexandra, would you like to tell our listeners a little bit about Dr. Raja so they can know who this person is and what brings him to our show?
Yeah, just a quick introduction. And right before we interview our guests, we like to do a short universal peace meditation. And this is just to get into that pure love frequency, and you can reach up above your head, touch your heart, breathe in, and then just touch your heart and allow yourself to receive. You can even say, I receive pure love. And then just breathe in, relax, let go of anything, any type of trauma, grief, sorrow, whatever you might be carrying, knowingly or unknowingly. You can say, I choose to release this today. And then just when you raise your hands up above your head and you slowly pull in this love frequency and you let it saturate your entire being, you can touch your heart again and say, I receive pure love. And so this is really just a short meditation, but it's a very powerful one. And with all that's going on around the earth, you always, you can start with this. It's just a small, picture the sun at sunrise or sunset, a beautiful, beautiful sunrise, sunset, and set that sun right on your heart, and then expand it out through every cell in your being. And this is part of your, activating your joy cord. So sometimes you watch the news or you hear something or this or that, and it can rock your boat a little bit. So this sunshine meditation helps fill every cell in your being to the subatomic level with joy. And when you're doing that golden sunlight meditation, you can just breathe in through your nose, breathe in that pure love, and you can say, I receive, accept, appreciate pure love. And indeed, and then feel that sun just flow through your body, and the breath is a conscious breath. And when you breathe in slowly and you just focus on and breathing in pure love, let everything else wash away that's keeping you from your joy cord. So this is a short, let joy be your GPS and meditation. And you can just do this whenever you feel the need for it, when you first wake up, before you go to sleep. And you can put that golden sun around your house, your vehicle, your family, your loved ones, and Mother Earth. And on this call, we have a lot of love for humanity and to turn the page, to really celebrate the Aquarian age, to wake up happy and fully enjoy your day, not to let the other stuff take away from your joy cord. So, this is a self-love meditation, but then once you get into that vibration, you send it out, and you can send it out to infinity. So we love to start our shows with, also positive I am affirmation. You can anchor in I am that I am that I am, and then you can say I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise, and I know it. And again, always breathe in that pure love. And I'm really grateful that we have Dr. Raja on our show today. We have Ted Mahr on our show, and a fun mystery guest coming on at our Fun Intermission. So, the true prosperity is all around us. When you feel a little down, step outside, take a look at the beauty of this earth and realize, wow, we really are on a paradise planet. We may have taken a few turns this way or that way, but ultimately we live on a beautiful planet. And so on this show, Create Paradise, we bring together peace emissaries, inventors of really amazing, smart technologies, everything coming from a heart chakra, heart center, to really see us make, I call it flipping the switch, to where love is the first and foremost reason for us, interacting with each other in a loving way, honoring each other as magnificent beings of love and light, and also this earth and our cosmos. So Dr. Raja has the magic.
Would you like me to read Dr. Raja's bio? Because I have it in front of me.
Okay. Raja brings in the magic and the celebration and fun activities like dolphin swims, and Janet's going to introduce his bio.
Yeah.
Take it away.
I have some information on Dr. Raja and Ted Mahr and this show on aquarianradio.com. You can just go to aquarianradio.com to read along with us or read more. I'm only going to do part of this. Dr. Raja, his bio, he says, my mission has to do with the Pleiades. At Palenque in southern Chiapas, I received my instructions intuitively from the extraterrestrials in 1980, was told that in the near future, the star ancestors are coming back, and some of them will be in human form. I learned that I was part of a sacred cosmic order, a Knight of the Solar Cross. These knights were born as humans with highly developed pineal body or gland, the third eye, which gave us astounding telepathic abilities. They examined everyone by this eye instead of by normal vision, which would only allow for reason and logic instead of truth. The Knights of the Solar Cross are wandering extraterrestrial beings whose task is to clean up backward worlds. With this amazing extraterrestrial experience at Palenque, I soon discovered that there are many people here on Earth who don't belong here. The Knights of the Solar Cross are the chimney sweeps of creation, and it is their specific job to go to the trash cans of the universe and give aid to their fellow beings on the backward worlds. I began naming my work Aquarian Perspectives, Interplanetary Mission, and gave it the symbol of a spacecraft with wings and a halo, something that all cultures can understand. Through this extraterrestrial experience, I was told to go back to America to write books and articles and spread the word about the mission and the extraterrestrials. This is my life, the truth of my being. I was guided to go from the Yucatan to a rainbow gathering at Mount Shasta in California in 1984. After the gathering, I took teachings and UFO films around the different societies to share the knowledge. I called on the Theosophical Society in Oakland, California, and there I met its president, Mahr, in 1984, who became my wife. Since then, we worked together for 27 years to share the message of the extraterrestrials that they are coming to help and bring peace to the planet. We traveled all over the world working with the grid lines. We worked in various scientific and technical ways to advance the consciousness of the human species. We work with the human energy system to upgrade DNA patterns using extraterrestrial energies and codons. Codon is a technical word for genetic manipulation and genetic coding based on advanced sacred geometric principles. This is done through the use of pure copper, pure gold, and crystal. The whole world is transforming, and the Aquarian mission is aligning with sacred places. People are receiving the extraterrestrial language through the grid lines that connect the sacred places, the frequencies. Every living and non-living thing in the existence of Earth was created by the extraterrestrial scientists who use sacred math for the work. So there's more on the site. I invite you to go look at it on aquarianradio.com. There's some lovely pictures of Dr. Raja, Alexandra, and Mahr, and who else? Some people at the Rainbow Gathering or something. So anything else before we bring on Dr. Raja, Alexandra? Hello? Okay, I'm going to bring on Dr. Raja. I don't hear you, Alexandra, but let's go ahead.
Dr. Raja would like to start with a song today. We were talking, we had a short discussion that in a true golden age, you walk as if you dance and talk as if you sing. So he just burst into song. So if you'd like to share a little song, we welcome that.
Take it away.
All right, indeed, and greetings, beloved masters, one and all. First, I'd like to know, are we better off using the speaker button, which is more convenient for us, or is the voice better modulated if the speaker button is off? Could you answer that little technical question for me, please?
Okay. When I can mute from my end, so when you're not talking, I will mute you. How's that? Because it's quicker for me to unmute. But if I forget to mute you, everything you pick up or jiggle is going to make noise, or somebody's setting something down or picking things up. So we're trying to minimize the distracted background noise by muting. But I think you sound good. We all sound pretty good here. So just take it away, and I'll make a comment if there's a lot of feedback coming in. Okay? Thank you, Dr. Raja.
Thank you, Janet. I appreciate that. And I'm in a soundproof little room here in the computer room with no mice steering and no steers mewing and no cats, dogs, animals, cups, saucers, or anything except perhaps maybe a flying saucer coming, and it's promised to be on silent mode. And then we will sing a song, and we invite everyone to join in. We may have a medley of a few of them there, but what's coming to heart now is sing, "Oh, how happy you have made me. Oh, how happy you have made me. Sing, oh, how happy you have made me. Oh, how happy you have made me." Oh,
nice way.
And that is our great creator, creatress, goddess, God, that makes us so happy every moment of our life just to be alive on this beautiful paradise world full of dolphins and unicorns and happy dragons and Puff the Magic Dragon and so much more. And I always like to begin all of our sessions with a little meditation to invoke and bring in the great ascended masters of light and joy who help us so much, especially who we call the Hierophant of the age of Aquarius, the beloved Lecomte de Saint-Germain, and his glorious violet flame that he has given to the planet Earth to take away all sin and sorrow and suffering and misgivings and errors and bring in joy and beauty and abundance for the new age of Aquarius. We also welcome our beloved Jesus Sananda, the beloved Maitreya, and our beloved Athena, Ashtar, and dear white buffalo calf woman. And we honor the divine feminine here on planet Earth, who is rising up in all her glory, so that the men will raise the femininity within themselves to become more gentle, and the women will raise their masculinity to become more powerful. And as we all become balanced, loving, kind, joyous beings, we celebrate all life, all those who walk, talk, swim, fly, and crawl. including the dragonflies and the butterflies, the birds and the bees. And the birds used to be the dinosaurs of long ago who are no more. And they say that there may be some other species upon dear planet Earth who may also soon become extinct. And at least we try to figure out who that may be. I would like to go back a little bit in time and tell the people a little bit about the Knights of the Solar Cross and who in the world could they be? Beings from other dimensions and other planets, living in the human form, though not of it, not flesh, though they are in the world, they are not of this world. They are from higher dimensions and more beautiful, serene, paradisical planetos, dimensions. And we have it from the space intelligences who gave us a very special prophecy years ago about apples. In fact, somebody gave me an apple today, and it says, to the apples we salt, we shall return. Now, this old prophecy legend means that the space people salted away some apples, and we're now returning to the harvest to ripen the apples. But what would the apple represent? Now we have the golden apples, the green apples. God didn't make little green apples, and it don't rain in Indianapolis in the summertime. What did it represent? For many years now, evidence has been accumulating at a rapid rate that there are many people on Earth who don't really belong here. They're from another planet. They could be your neighbor. They could be your baby. They could be your wife, your mother, your father, or your husband. And it doesn't mean that they necessarily came aboard a flying spaceship and then went about and learned the English language or whatever language in whatever country they're in and moved into the house next door. What it truly means is that there is a special class or a highly initiate order of space people from the other domains of the universe who have come to this planet to be the chimney sweeps of creation, like the Santa Clauses. They would come through the chimneys and clean it up and leave gifts of light. They volunteered to come to the earth during the reincarnational cycle here so that they could do a very special mission. And what that mission is to teach the human being about the true quality of love. Love means a giving without expect anything in return. It's not business. I give you this, you pay for this. That's a different level of interchange. Love is always a giving. There are selfless beings out there who are so full of love and light and self-ability and self-divine eminence that they don't need to get anything. They are totally self-realized, and they're here simply to give and to love, like a rose or a lotus. And so, beloved masters of light, we want to bring you the message of the commitment to yourself. Yes, you can be selfless and give, but you can also think of developing yourself and loving yourself in such a way that you empower yourself. Now, I want to say that there is some very important information here that we need to share, because this is the end times of the old age and the beginning of a new age. But when the old age passes away, so will the earth changes come upon us. And we may wake up one day and say, my God, how many hurricanes are we going to have in 1 week? My God, how many fires are we going to have? My God, how many earthquakes and volcanoes. My goddess God, we pray to the mighty goddess God of the universe to bring blessing, compassion, and comfort all of us as we go through these mighty earth changes. And have no fear. Know that not a hair on your head will be harmed if you are meant to go through the dimensional shift and help dear planet Earth, Turtle Island, Saros, to go through the next dimension. For instance, in the lessons of Gnana Yoga by Yogi Ramatapara, who was a starseed, he said that there are in the world today individual souls which have reached certain stages of rishihood on other planets who have volunteered their life form to come back to the earth to raise the human out, to lift them up. Jesus and also Lord Gautama Buddha, who said, not only have I come to help the human, but also the little puppies, the little dolphins, and the unicorns, and all the beings. We're all equal. That is the motto of the age of the Aquarius, is the divine feminine will raise up to become equal with the masculine, and the little children and the little animals will lead us, and we will all love one another. There will be a time when there will be no more war, no more boasting of war and how great and powerful we are to destroy the other, no matter what. We are the powerful one. No, that will all pass away, and we will speak about peace. We will speak about love and joy and happiness. For this is the information that these adepts, these leaders and reformers of other worlds have when they come to the earth, known as the knights and the knightesses of the solar cross, meaning they bring a balanced way, an equal cross in the circle, bringing the energies of the sun and the moon, the masculine and the feminine, to help us. And we're I was so happy when this revelation came to me back in 1980. I had about as much as I could take of a McDonald's on every corner, next to an Exxon on every corner, filling the gas tank up, running and paying the bank and the bills and the drug bills at the pharmacy, and everything was a bill, everything was pumping oil, everything was hamburgers and cheeseburgers. I became cheeseburger in paradise as a vegetarian. I became a vegetarian, gave away everything that I had. I was running a successful healing clinic, and I went south to the jungles of the Yucatan and went up into the pyramids of Pakal Bhutan and worked with the Mayans and the simple native folk there, and was blessed to come to the realization that I was one of these space people. I had space people come to me in my third eye and awaken me and told me that I was to now go back to America and teach the new way as an awakened star being. And I thought, oh my God, they're going to put me in a mental institution, first and foremost. And they tried, but of course, as a physician, I was able to not go to the mental institution. In fact, I had gotten a lot of people out of the mental institution that they were trying to keep in there, because they also told about how they were channeling beings from other planets and other dimensions. And so this is a time to be brave and to wake up, masters of light. Indeed, do not underestimate yourselves. Do not say that something is not true just because you alone thought it. Know this about yourselves. When you think purely on your own inner thoughts, there is no room for errors, for there is none being a part of who you are. You are a wonderful daughter of light, a great son of light. And the space beings from the higher dimensions are coming soon to the earth in great numbers as you have your disclosures and your truths about the fact that we are not alone in this universe, and that not only are they visiting us, but they are Ma and Pa Kettle, Ma and Pa Gustafsson. They are the true parents of humanity, and they've come to lift us up. The age of Aquarius coming to full fruition is Goddess God walks with man, and man realizes that they are gods and goddesses. They are the ones they've been waiting for. Power lies within us, for we have so perfected the love principle that we need not adopt the policy of loving our enemies, and blessing those that curse us. For where we come from, there are no such things as enemies, and there's nobody that curses.
Dr. Raja.
Yes.
Dr.
Yes.
Raja, this is Janet. That's lovely. I wanted to ask you a couple questions about your contact, because I work with a lot of contactee experiencers. Some people think of themselves as abductees, but more and more people are coming to realize that this is contact from intelligent beings from many different places, other planets, other dimensions, vibratory frequencies, realms, however you symbol it. Have you been able to identify what species were communicating with you? Have they told you who they are? Many people have identified the various species that are working with humanity. Have you had any kind of information like that come through?
That is such a marvelous and wonderful question, because on one level we can say that this planet is a planet of illusion, and with words you can convey anything you want, and it can be true or false. It's up to your soul to register what's true and what's not true. And we are soon going to come to a time when we don't need to use words to give names to, well, this one is this one is that. It's like separation now as it is. We say, well, this one is a black one, this one is a white one, this one is a brown one. No, we're all from the higher dimensions of love and light, or they're not, and you'll know it. But yes, I did find out, and it was very interesting to me to find out that my chief contacts were from the Pleiades, from Venus, and from Jupiter. And my wife was from Venus, and when she passed after 27 years of doing the mission with me, she went back to Venus, and she's very happy up there working with me now. But one of the informations that I got is that we don't need to put labels on where they came from, what color is their spaceship, what size is it? These are all scientific facts and figures and data, which we don't really need in a true feeling dimension of love and light. For in the fathomless higher dimensions and the reaches of space, there's only light. There's only the etheric beingness. And many of the beings come without names, without ships of metal hardware or things that you can see, and they simply interact with your heart. And when people start coming down, they say, well, this one is from the planet this and the planet that, and they've come with this information, they've come with that. I start to get a little bit hazy, because I want to leave behind all of that scientific dogma. It's a new age and a new time. But I do realize that I'm not the only one down here, and we're reaching out to an entire frequency of human people, and everybody is free to be as they are and to believe as they wish and to make contact with whoever they want. The thing that I really think is important is that we learn to trust in all things and to be innocent, childlike, and be open to receiving the blessing, and to have no fear, and we cannot be harmed by wrongful or negative entities like the so-called Greys and the reptilians. Even a lot of those in the past, it's a new story for them. It's a new day. They're all evolving. They're all upgrading, and it's time to celebrate peace on Earth.
Right, and I find with a lot of the people that we interview that these they're changing. Everybody's changing, and that it's really wrong to just label an entire species as good or bad. We're actually very complicated on all levels. And living on Earth is complicated because of, this constant influx of negative energy from the press and the media and all that stuff. And so my question to you, Dr. Roger, because you have wonderful information, you have access to these higher levels of awareness, is what was the purpose of creating this paradigm with this extreme polarity in the first place? I know a lot of people say, well, it's here to learn, but that seems like an oversimplistic answer for something as complex as this matrix or whatever we're living in, this grid. Do you have any reflections on what is the meaning of it all? Why do we create this complex system of light and dark, good and bad, evil? And like
3 letters. Fun. F-U-N. Believe it or not, we can all get to 3 more letters. Joy. J-O-Y. To overcome the lower polarities and to reach up into living moment by moment, no matter what's going out, with an attitude of fun and joy. Oh, how happy. Yes. But I will tell
right.
Planet
Well, apparently
Earth
that was apparently. Let me just add this. Apparently, it's very complex. People that are in this constant bliss state, that wasn't enough. It's, for the entire continuum of existence, there seemed to be a need or something to experience something else, because sitting up there on your playing your harp and singing songs all the time didn't seem to be enough to diversify creation. So there were other things. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist. We would just still be. I mean, I totally identify and have access. My highest level of existence, my part of myself that resides right next to Source and is only slightly subpartial to have experience. So I'm connected to the entire continuum of my personal self, as anyone can do. I'm nothing special. Everyone can do it. But as individuals and as a whole complex system, from third-dimensional physicality all the way up to oneness and Source and Om, that apparently wasn't enough to really, I guess, juice people up to diversify creation. Otherwise, we would be sitting there going Om all day. So that's what I was. There is divine construction and everything, including the darkest dark, because it exists, and it's all of Source. So that's what I was reflecting on.
Yes, that we're to love everyone wherever they're at, even the dark, because so-called dark, because of the fact that life is more like a string than it is this or that, and the string is one piece. When you totally unravel the string like a cat does, playing with the ball of string, and if somebody was to stretch it from corner to corner, it's the same string from one end to the other. And if you hold it upside down, people say, oh, that's the lower part of the string. And people say, oh, look up there, that's the higher. I want to be up there at the higher part. But if they were to move it down again, it's the same string going back and forth. And on the polarity, it's more like we can use our interdimensional mind frequency to get into data and figuring things out and analysis, which is very handy in many ways. It's a difference between the Atlantean energy and the Lemurian energy, where you're living totally with nature, totally with the flowers and the trees, where in the others you're inside an air-conditioned building with an air-conditioned cooler and water and all of those things. And then there's another polarity which is very important, and I have studied a bit what you and your husband are putting out and your contacts, and of course you're one of the top 1% elite, if you might say, of the minds of people who really know what's going on in the world. And that's why you have this gift of the radio show, to bring out all this information from the people who are in these fields, and I respect what you're doing. Now, my idea, you're very welcome. I believe that polarity comes down to what we also call the bird tribes and the warrior tribes. The warrior tribes are the power mongers that do not necessarily owe allegiance to any nation on earth, but to a nation of the negative frequency, which does exist out there on other planets, and they have a pretended identification with the nation and their people, and they're the ones leading our governments and our countries, and they have a pretense of concern for what is ethical and good. They conceal what I would call a psychotic lack of consideration for human or animal suffering, and a facade of righteousness that must be maintained in order to keep control over the humans that they rule. And you know some of the countries I'm talking about that are ruled like with an iron hand, and the people are not free. They have to wear the same clothes, have the same haircut,
right,
go to the same schools or the same churches, or be looked upon as something wrong or out of this world. They're completely unconscious themselves of the hypocrisy of their speeches. And if they identify with any group, it may be their own immediate family, but even that is questionable. Their loyalty is to whom they believe will support and further their own accumulation of material power. And their agenda is total dictatorial control. They're never wrong because they are mortally afraid and believe that this is their only safety. Their fervor in control has increased the rest of the people in a frenzy for many centuries. Even when they came here as us and took over Turtle Island from the Native Americans and used the beautiful Native Americans' confederacy of a tribal nation living together as equals, they didn't. They stole it. They subjected the natives, and they said, we are a more superior and intelligent race than you are. You're going to be subjugated to this, and we're going to rule the planet. And then they also enslaved other cultures and races and said, you are a lower race, and we are a higher one, and we're going to put you down here, and we're going to rule it. But in the age of Aquarius, that crap don't walk because we are being free with the truth of the higher dimensions, the higher frequencies, and people will not be controlled anymore. They will reach out, they will march out, they will walk. And in this beautiful land of the United States of America, which has fallen mostly to its original ideas that it got from the Native Americans and from the Knights of the Solar Cross of other higher dimensions, is still got enough freedom left in it where it will be the salvation of the planet, because it's a melting pot of all the cultures to come together to create a new earth from this nation. So I believe very much in here, or I'd be somewhere else. I'd be in a cave in India where I've been, or I'd be in many different places. But here it is. But the truth of it is there's a difference in the polarity which you brought up, which I don't always like to talk about because, you know, it kind of brings in what we can call the negative. It's a mentality of what we call the warrior caste or the warrior tribes. And the motivation is behind the political and economic manipulation of the lives of billions of human beings, not to mention the poor animals. Look what they're doing to the animals. They herd them into big farms and they eat them, for God's sake. We're supposed to be the caretakers, the shepherds of these beautiful creatures, and we wonder why some of them eat us. Because the planet continues on this old dog-eat-dog, the mightiest lion in the jungle rules, and that's not really the case. The new frequency that's been interjected into the planet from the higher dimensions, the higher frequencies, is love and gentleness.
Well, that's a very interesting point that you bring up about. I mean, we could sit here and look at humans how they eat animals, but there's something always eating something on this planet. What is it about making it a paradigm of consumption? You know. So that I always wondered, like, what if I was like at the highest level of existence and creating a place for avatars to come and play, Divine Play Leela? It would seem like if I was in charge, I wouldn't create such a place where, I mean, even the insects eat each other, right? So that always struck me as bizarre. I know my origin is not from this planet. I really identify with what you said at the beginning. I'm not from this planet. I have the stranger in the strange world phenomenon, and my earliest memories were, come and take me back. There's been some kind of mistake. So we have that, and yet here I am, 63 years old. I'm still here, and I'm working on this level with my wonderful husband, Dr. Lesson. Now he is he had studied with Howard Sidney Stone, and Howard Stone was Carl Jung's protege. So we practice Jungian psychology, and part of it is integrating all our subpersonalities and parts of ourselves. And the whole concept is that nothing in the human condition is alien to any one of us, and that this polarity exists within and without. The microcosm reflects the macrocosm. And the reason it comes out so perverse and sideways is because we haven't integrated the awareness that it's all us anyway. So what do you think about that? And Alexandra, I'm going to pass the talking stick to you for you to continue the interview part. Okay? Back to you,
yes,
Dr. Raja.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Those are very beautiful truths that what the teachers would say is necessary, because we have to put into practice all these lofty thoughts and teachings, or what good are they? Because in truth, there is no judgment upon what we eat, and we must love each other no matter what we eat or smoke or drink or do. We are all here to have fun and joy, and there's to be no judgment. Yet what I found in answer to what you're saying is that all of this is an initiation process that must be completed for each human to become mature, sentient beings in the cosmos. And the more mature sentient beings do not consume the hosts of other beings. They don't eat them. They can exist off of the air, off of breathing, breatharians, fruitarians, vegetarians, vegans. Then you can have a little dairy. Then you have ones that eat the animals. And one of the best meals I ever had was sitting down with a group of Native Americans after a beautiful peyote ceremony in Chaco Canyon with some wonderful chiefs from around the world. And they said, here, brother, we are offering you some elk meat that we just went out and shot and prepared. Would you sit and eat with us? And my eyes went in the back of my head. And the peyote, I'm going, oh, my God, I'm a vegetarian. What am I to do? And I remember the Dalai Lama said, when someone offers you a meal from the love of their heart, no, even if it's a rhinoceros, you eat it. I said, by all means, I'll eat it with gusto. And it was one of the best meals I ever had. It really tastes great. I used to love to enjoy having bacon and eggs when I was a child, but I don't eat that now. I've grown from that. But I don't judge anyone who does that. Everybody has their own path. But the way that it was revealed to me as a soul is that the human heart must evolve and initiate and permanently transcend a selfish or self-destructive or any type of destructive obsessions, and open and get away from warrior type things and weapons and things that kill, and eat the things and just simply eat what, as they said in the Bible, the herb and the herb-bearing seeds shall be your food. Not the whole plant, but the seeds that fall from the plant, which would be a fruit. Anything that you can eat and plant the seed again, to grow again, is a karma less. You're not killing anything. But once again, I'm not here to shed a group of rules that say, all right, people, you've got to follow these rules or you're never going to be an enlightened space people. No, there are no rules in the age of Aquarius. We love one another no matter what, and we love ourselves no matter what we eat, drink, smoke, think, or do, as long as we do it with love in our hearts. That is important. And if anything can be done with love, that's it. We can do it.
That's wonderful. Okay. Alexandra, your turn. What would you like to talk about with Dr. Raja?
Sure. Okay. Well, yeah, we are, for those on the call, we're talking about your joy cord and warrior, where you can flip the switch to become, a gentleman, gentlewoman in your heart is what really matters. And then your environment will start to reflect that all around you also. And so Raja touched upon it. We've all gone through this journey. I remember dissecting a piglet when I was in high school, and just I couldn't believe, that we're all sitting around this table dissecting these piglets. It was just unbelievable, so we kind of made a joke out of it, but it really wasn't funny. So we all have our time when we wake up and we realize, I don't want to be part of co-creation of fear. And sometimes you don't realize it, but when you ingest it, you may pick up the fear of that animal that was killed. So anyway, as we get to joy and paradise and away from the worrier or warrior mentality, it feels good. It feels good when you don't have to worry. And there's certain things, when like Raja talked about, there are, and hopefully some on the call, and I know you are, Janet and Dr. Lesson and Raja, we are, in essence, untouchables in that when you realize, we know we're immortal, we know we came here from a different, that life is, we are immortal, eternal beings, and we're right now on the surface of this earth because we're anchoring in the age of Aquarian celebration, the cosmic renaissance. Each of the shows for Create Paradise is really indeed, not just in theory, how we prayed for peace. Now we're actually witnessing all around the world countries literally coming to the table because they really do want to see peace on this earth. And, so I'd like for Raja, he has traveled around the world, to share some of your wisdom from your journeys and how people can, you can travel to a vortex, but the true vortex is right within yourself, in your own heart, and learning how to live totally, fully, feeling alive, and happy, like honoring each and every cell within your own body as an unlimited being. You have unlimited creativity. That's what this Aquarian age is all about. You can live as long as you want once you start taking care of your body, your immunity. You can live a long time. And so Raja, he's going to be doing some fun trips for dolphin swims, out excursions to Ocala where there's incredible springs with really fresh air and water. And it's so majestic in Ocala. It looks like a piece of paradise. So if you like to spend a little, time to let our audience know about your upcoming fun events and how they can participate, that would be great.
Oh, thank you, Alexandra. That's a wonderful part of the work that we're doing. One of the greatest joys of all is to be able to leave the human sphere of inquiry and analysis and geopolitical situations and just go swim with the dolphins. Now, there are lots of dolphins out there, but there are certain class or order of dolphins that are different than the others because they came from outer space. We have Pleiadian dolphins that like to play at ease, Pleiadians. And then we have Syrian dolphins who are very serious because they came from Sirius. And they're not the most friendly ones. They just go about their business and prefer not to have human contact. But there are several, 5 or 6 pods all around the world that love to swim with human beings. And we call those the Pleiades pods. There are some that I've swum with in Hawaii. There are some in the Bahamas. There are some in Bali, which I haven't met yet, but I understand they're over there. And there are a couple other places. But I specifically we are planning another trip to the lower Bahama Islands, the old Bahama Islands. We did one to Bimini, where there are groups of dolphins who love to interact with human beings. And there's nothing that will melt your heart more than to swim out to a dolphin who comes right up to you and kisses you on the nose and slides up against you and tweets and tweet and with their radiomagnetic sonar frequency, they can see right through you. They know who you are and why you're there. And that makes them decide whether to come and swim with you. And they can actually melt away the stress, the illnesses, the pressures of human experience and raise the frequency of your chakras, especially your heart chakra, and also your 8th chakra, which is above your 7th crown chakra. And now we're talking about your 8th clown chakra, the happy chakra. They can awaken your clown chakra and teach you how to do laughing yoga and make you happy. There are people who shoot up out of the water and all they do forevermore is laugh and tell jokes. That's all they do. They've been healed by the dolphins. They've seen a new world. They've seen the mountaintop. And they're here to lead us to a place of paradise and peace. And so, in this coming June, and every year in June, we are taking dolphin trips to the Bahamas. If you want to join us, you can call me, email me, go to my website at stardoves.com. And we have our phone number and our email address on our site and on the Aquarian radio site. So our email address is ra@stardoves.com. That's STARDOVES.com. We also give vortex tours to the Mystery Springs of Florida. Did you know that Florida is part of old Atlantis? And at one time, it was a part that was left up when the Yucatan, Merida, Playa del Carmen, and all of those places over there, all the way down into Palenque, was a great land, and the Gulf of Mexico was not a water body. It was all land, a part of Atlantis. And underneath Florida are rivers that go underneath it, from the Gulf of Mexico to the Atlantic Ocean. And there are pockets, or what we call springs, bottomless springs, that you can go in. I don't recommend going all the way to the endless bottom and swimming out to the Atlantic, because you need to be Aquaman and have endless breathing capabilities under the water. But you can at least tap into certain portals. They have beautiful places in the Yucatan by the Tulum, where are beautiful Chacmú and Chelhas and beautiful blue springs that lead to portals to other worlds and other dimensions and other frequencies that are constantly beaming out a higher energy that can change your world, just like the dolphins, just by swimming in these magical springs. That's why Ponce de Leon called these springs in Florida, and it wasn't just one, the fountain of youth, because he knew of people and he heard the legends of the natives who lived here, that just by bathing in the waters, you could become young again, youthful-like in your appearance and your health, because it had a higher dimensional frequency. And we're not in search of them. We found them all. We take tours to over 22 different springs in the area. Silver Springs, Weeki-Wachee Springs, Ichnatukni Springs, Blue Springs, Alexandra Springs, on and on, springs all over. And they all tap into the underground rivers. And some of these underground rivers go up and under and come above rivers. And we also take you on swimming tours after the dolphins. We go to the rivers and we have alligator swims. No, I'm just kidding. The alligators.
Silly boy. No. No alligators. No.
Teeth.
I almost adopted an alligator. I came across a baby alligator that was an orphan. I thought about adopting it. But yeah, these are fun tours. I really encourage the audience to get in touch with Raja and do your best to plan a really fun excursion. And when you meditate, you can also place your heart chakra on spiritual vortexes. So it's also fun. And if there's a virtue that you want to work on, whatever it is, like maybe you want to have more fun in your life, or maybe you want to be free of worrying, or maybe you want some spiritual healing, whatever it might be, touch your heart, set that intention, and before you go to sleep, wrap yourself in a love cocoon, and then breathe in that pure love and let yourself, drift into sleep. These dolphins, they are healers. You can ask the dolphins to come in and, scan you. Sometimes you may not know what it is. You may have buried something in your subconscious. So the dolphins are healers. They'll come. And when Raja was talking about the Pleiades and the playfulness of the dolphins from the Pleiades, play is a part of life. The children, they wake up in the morning and they run outside and they play. And so part of our beingness in the age of Aquarian is getting into the now moment, being in the now and being fully in the now, it's a great state of beingness. So, just to let whatever worries wash off your shoulders and know that they're like your higher self, what we talked about in the beginning, when you reach up and you pull that in. I love that. When you get into that state of giggling or laughter when you wake up in the morning and you just feel good, that's sparking the fountain of youth within you. And once you get that, you can take it with you anywhere. So, that's a great state of beingness. And you can just set an intention. I want to have the fountain of youth flowing through me. And then wrap yourself in a love cocoon before you go to sleep and when you wake up in the morning. So I don't know if we're able to take a question, but is that possible while we still have Raja on the air?
Yeah, let me see what I can do here. Can you hear me? Okay, hold on. I don't know who's asking questions. I'll click on someone and I think there's a way you can raise your hand if you want to ask a question, but I'm not sure how that works. So let me just go down the line here. Okay. Area code 954. Do you have a question for Dr. Raja? Area code 954. Okay, I guess not. I'll put you on mute. Area code 509. Do you have a question for Dr. Raja or comment? Anybody? Anybody there? Okay, I'll put you back on hold. Area code 301. Do you have a question or comment for Dr. Raja? Area code 301. Question or comment? Okay. Got a lot of listeners. Just don't know who's.
We don't know who's lurking in those woods.
Yes. So I know there's a way you can raise your hand, kind of. Oh, that might be another system. I'm getting confused. Okay, I'm going to launch the chat. If anybody get into the chat, you have any questions, please let us know. Otherwise, we'll continue. So let me see if I have a question. Well, we're at the 1 hour mark. Is there? Did you want me to go and do you want to do our commercial break that you wanted to do and the surprise guest? Did you want to wrap things up with Dr. Raja?
I'd like to close with one line
go ahead.
if I can. And when I usually close my sessions, I call upon the Masters of Light that that inspire the information that I give. They also like to reach out to all of the beings out there. If anyone is in need of assistance or further enlightenment, we do give with these master beings of the higher dimensions readings and sessions and Akashic soul readings on our site at stardoves.com under our services and sacraments. And you'll see about 7 different types of blessings and sacraments that we offer. We also have books there called Whisperings of the Doves, our latest book about our travels around the planet and our work with all the different frequencies and tribes of Mother Earth and how they each reacted to our bringing the information of the light beings to them. And we have another book called The Himalayan Star Conclaves, when we were in the Himalayas of Tibet and India and Nepal for 1 year, recording the information in that book. And we thank all of you very much. We thank the radio, the hosts, and the listeners.
Very much for joining us today, Dr. Raja. What would you like to say, Alexandra, before we say goodbye to Dr. Raja?
Oh, indeed. We bring in unity, peace, and love. And there was is there a caller from 841 who can just ask a quick question, or 843?
I see it 843. Let me get to that one. Hold on.
And
I did click on that, but there was no answer. But hold on 1 second. I got to get to my mouse. I buried it. I buried my mouse. Poor thing. Okay, hold on. Okay. Caller at 843. Are you there? Aloha.
Aloha. Yes,
Hi,
I am here.
Who do we have here?
It's Melody from South Carolina. This is a question for you, Dr. Raja. Better late than never. Okay, I'm really very interested in the topic of ascension. And I know that the ascended masters are of the Great White Brotherhood. And tonight we're talking about the galactics, the extraterrestrials. Are there major councils of the light to include representatives of each council coming from the extraterrestrials, like from the Pleiades, Sirius, Andromeda, Arcturus, Centaurus, Lyra, Orion? Are you familiar of any major councils of the light coming from this ETs? I think that's my question.
Well, thank you very much, Melody, for your beautiful question. And what I answer to that is I am the creator. We are the creator, the created, and the creation. All is the creator. There is no other. And now in the ascension, we find that the atom, the Adamic race, ADAM equals atom, ATOM, and the Eve equals evolution, Adam and Eve are on the spiral of a higher ascension frequency that leads from the center worm of the earth that was even considered the ape, if you want to look at it from an evolutionary species, the Cro-Magnon man, and given a higher DNA frequency that came from the higher planets, and they became the old ape caveman person living in the caves and grabbing the women by the hair and clubbing them and making them cook and wash dishes for them. To now, that's not funny, to now realizing that the man and the woman are equal. They're equal in every way. And they've gone through so many species of that, including from the caveman to the Amazon. How many of you saw that wonderful movie, Wonder Woman, which is so empowering for the woman, showing how strong and powerful the woman is in this day and age. And so, yes, the ascension teaches us to work with higher frequencies of the light and the dimensions of the ascension, the ascended masters. That's why they call them the ascended masters, because they come from a higher dimension, a higher frequency. They come from out of the light, from the infinite expansion of light dimensions, and they bring codons or frequency, violet rays, emerald ray, ruby ray, the golden ray, and we can bask in all those rays in our meditation. If we do it in a repetitious way, that brings us to a higher spiral of evolution. And there's a graduation of consciousness over and over throughout eons of time within the entire galaxy. There is nothing that is going to prepare us for the grandness of the entire consciousness shift that is upon us at this time. A lower consciousness carries childlike attitudes, childlike traditions and beliefs into a new, higher, common sense, spiritual logic, and a grander spiritual awakening on our planet that is happening right now in this sacred time. I am a spark of the infinite. I am not flesh and bones. I am the light. Paramahansa Yogananda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was great. All right. Alexandra, you're the primary host on this show. Where do you want to go next? What would you like to happen?
Okay,
what would you like to make happen?
We were able to have a call in. Thank you for that call. And I'm grateful. We do a fun intermission. And one of the keys to this tapping into your joy cord is gratitude. So I do want to send a wave of gratitude to Janet in Aloha in Hawaii. We're connecting Hawaii, the mainland of the United States, Dr. Raja in Florida, and our friend Ted, who will be bringing in his journey to Peru. So we really are connecting hearts across the land. And our cosmic friends, who we all love dearly. So just a wave of gratitude, and I believe we might have a mystery guest. So Janet, do we have a mystery guest for our fun intermission? I believe at 3:01. Calling in from 3:01 is the area code.
I think I saw 301 earlier, but when I clicked on it, they didn't answer, but let me try it now. 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Let's track here. Okay, here we go.
I did have contact from Carl.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi,
Hey,
Alexandra. Hi, I'm right here.
Welcome.
Take it away.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Oh, sure. We welcome your presence. And now we are connecting hearts with Washington, D.C., Virginia area. And if you would kindly introduce yourself, this is our fun intermission on Create Paradise. And I believe you're going to share a fun food fact or food trivia with the audience.
Yeah, sure. So, can I start?
Oh, sure. We also like it if you'd share the meaning of your name and how to correctly pronounce your name, because it has a beautiful spiritual message.
Wonderful. Why not? Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Munira Ali. My name is Munira with the Munira, and it is a word, an Arabic word, which means the light of the moon. So with my name only, I'm truly, truly attached with the nature and everything. So let me get back to my name and what I am and what I'm doing in this area. So I am a plant-based certified chef, who is associated with PCRM. And I live in Washington, D.C. metro area, serving communities in Maryland, Virginia, and D.C. My journey have started just for working voluntary for PCRM, doing a lot of cooking videos for Kickstart India program. And I've been associated with VSDC, with Vegetarian Society of DC, and doing a lot of volunteer services for giving the cooking demo. But eventually I turned myself to it more seriously since my husband is working for PCRM. He's the nutritional head for PCRM. And my goal is to show how important it is to eat healthy using spices, flavors, all from plants. My recipes are plant-based and zero cholesterol, and they are SOS-free. So in a series of cooking demos, my next demo will be on Saturday, October 28th at St. John's Episcopal Church in Arlington, Virginia. I welcome you all. Please do come. You can find all the information about my class at my Facebook page, which is Healthy Eating Forever. Again, Healthy Eating Forever. It's very simple, and you will find it right on the Facebook page. And I also offer nutritional counseling for reducing the weight, for dealing with diabetes, how you can change your diet, how you can, through the nutrition, you can even reverse your condition. So this is really, I'm like a certified plant-based chef, and it is for food for life. It is truly, food is related with our life, how we will lead our life. So we should have that in our, every time we eat anything, we should think what we are giving to our body. So I also make, along with these cooking classes and other voluntary services, these are not, these cooking demos I'm giving with a fee. You can find all the information again on my Facebook page. And I also make vegan meals on commercial basis and do the catering for small and big families and deliver items directly to their doorstep. So you can contact me for anything, right from counseling to catering to seeing the cooking demos. And obviously I have the backup of PCRM with all the knowledge. And I also have a personal backup of my husband, who is a doctor by PhD and nutrition head of a Kickstart India program. So I can assure you will be in good hands. So I will give phone to Zishan, and he will talk to you about himself and what he is doing. Over to Zishan.
Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Zishan Ali with the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. And as you know, my wife already told you, we are building healthy communities in the United States, in India, wherever we can, where we can show the power of plants, the power of grains, legumes, fruits, vegetables, so many things we grow on earth. And if we watch the food, what we are eating, we can really turn around the chronic diseases. What I'm seeing is there are so many people who have been told that diabetes cannot be reversed. And what I know and what I have seen from the clinical research, change the diet for 21 days, see the results on your own, and I can assure you your cholesterol drops down, your A1C gets better controlled, sugar level gets controlled, and even the arteries which have been clogged for ages, they open up, and we are seeing real good results. My upcoming project is I'm going to India in the next, after 10 days from now, November 1st. We are doing a film screening in India, Forks Over Knives. It's a health documentary, very, very powerful film, which shows the power of plant-based diet, and we are showing this movie for free in Delhi and Mumbai, expecting 1,000 people in 2 cities. We are doing promotion, and that's the most recent thing which is coming. But before that, on October 28th, we are also doing a class here which is called Spice and Science. So where I will give a nutrition lecture on diabetes prevention, management, and if age is any factor in reversing diabetes, then I will show evidence that diabetes can be reversed at any age, every age. And I will talk more about the science, which will be followed by my wife's cooking demo, where she will show how to utilize the science in the kitchen, what we can do, what we can change in the kitchen to cook food without fats, to cook food without sugar, to cook food without animal fats. So we want to bring that kind of exposure to our communities where we can educate them, and at the same time we can offer practical courses. And that's why I'm very excited that my wife, Munira Ali, she has started her non-profit work where she is cooking for people who cannot cook or who don't have time or who doesn't know how to cook. So she wants to give them the opportunity that food can be cooked healthy. It needs time, definitely, because anything which is good comes with a price. You have to spend time. Anything with that. If you want to be successful in your business, in your studies, you work hard for that, right? So similarly, it goes in the kitchen. You work hard, and then you get the results with your health. You feed your family. You want them to live a healthy life, disease-free life, and that's one thing you can do is food, because food is the cause of all the problems, but food at the same time can also be the solution. So watch for Healthy Eating Forever Facebook page. My wife has just started, and we will keep posting about our classes there. And also, like if you know anybody who needs counseling on, let's say they are struggling with arthritis or diabetes, taking 3 or 4 medications, and the doctor says that these medications have to be taken forever. But no, wait a minute. Talk to us, and we will help you reversing your chronic diseases at least. And few tips we can give you. We will have one-to-one counseling. If you are far away, we can do a Skype call, telephone call. If you are local, we can do telephone call. Anything can be done. Sky is the limit. Talk to us, email us, call us. We will be here. And also, if you think somebody needs advice on if they need food to be ordered in the Washington, D.C. metro area, please contact Munira Ali. And we can help you. We can save the earth. We can save animals. We can save ourselves from unethical farming, from unethical practices. And let's keep everybody happy.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
That's wonderful. Thanks. Go ahead, Alexandra.
Oh, well, yeah, thank you. And, I know we look at the children of all species. I don't know if you heard, or Dr. Raja was inviting friends, family, and guests to come out and enjoy a dolphin swim. And so I know you guys have some young kids, and the physician committee has a unicorn food chart. So you were just talking about keeping the fun alive, and so there's great ways and tools, and whatever your dream is, I just want to encourage the listeners, write out your dreams, make a vision board, and then find good mentors, find good support teams. And so if you're wanting to raise a healthy family or have happy kids and, happy relationship and stuff, we've got all these great resources. So we're offering your support team, loving, trusting mentors, and so.
Totally agree. Yes, totally agree. And I think the whole idea is to, to bring the family together, bring happiness, take the stress out of your life. And there can be so many ways, and especially our kids. My daughter, she's 11. My son, she's 5, and what we do, what we discuss, gets reflected on them. And I see that what is important in life is also feeling of togetherness, the bond, the trust, and then doing everything together in a fun way. Not losing the track, keeping, have a focused approach, what you want in life, be ready to help. I think that's the most important thing one can do to help yourself and help others. I think if you keep that way, it's very simple, but in that way everybody will be happy. And also you have to enjoy life. You should be happy what you are doing. And like Alexandra, what you mentioned, that this thing is a great thing, the dolphin thing, and definitely I would like to bring my kids, and I have a vision that I want them to feel the nature right there near the sea, and with definitely with a good companionship, because society, a man is known with the society he keeps. Very good saying. I love it. And I look forward for a day when we can plan something.
Yes. Well, we'd love to have actually, Raja and I share the same birthday, December 1st.
I'm coming back from India on 29th of November. So maybe if we can plan something, December 1st could work out, because I know I will be super tired coming after a jet lag or 10.5-hour difference between India and the U.S. So everything is just gets turned over. But I think we can still maybe plan something, and if you have the set dates, then we can start brainstorming what do we need to do.
Yeah, I think we'd all like to do something. We definitely, Raja and I we'd like to do this dolphin swim and invite friends and family to join us this year, for sure. Yeah. So the first week of December would be a lot of fun. And they have dolphins.
Where are you thinking of doing this? What part of the world?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. Well, there's also whales. You're going to be coming into whale season, so it's a good time to come.
Yes.
Which place?
Oh, we're talking about
the island, Hawaii.
Yeah,
I'm in Maui, Hawaii.
But
there's a lot of good dolphin swimming and whale watching, and it's very, there's different companies. I don't know who's arranging this, but the islands get pretty full with people coming in from all over the world for the whale watching and the dolphin swim.
Can we maybe we can organize something something for the environment, something for yourself, and something for the animals, like a big kind of conference kind of thing, or maybe an event where I can present something on nutrition, and Raja can present something on, I don't know, what would be his favorite topic. Munira can do a cooking demo. Alexandra can speak about yoga and meditation, and you can do something. So in that way, we can have a panel of things. And if we organize it, I think people would love it.
I don't know if I can pull it off by December, but maybe Alexandra can. She's in touch with some magic.
Alexandra is great. That's true, yeah. I think Alexandra is asking me for a while now that let's plan something, but I think I am super occupied. So I think Munira is now taking it forward. So she is now doing very active work in this field. So I hope Munira and Alexandra can connect and plan something.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Guys, figure it out.
Figure it out. I'm actually heading to the mainland, and one of the things I do besides work with the contact the experiencers in the UFO field is I do tantra meditation and chakras and yoga meditations. And so that's what we're doing in Austin. We're going to Austin for 2 weeks. So anyway, it's fun. We all have our pieces of the puzzle and the things that we contribute. And I'm delighted that Alexandra is motivated to get this going. And I'm going to, let her do as much as she can. And we'll just advertise it here on Aquarian Radio and see what we can co-create and build together. About the best we can do, right?
And by the way, Expedia has half-off fares, so you might want to take a look, and we'll really get this connected so we can actually get everybody squared away to come out and go for a fun swim and enjoy the beauty and magic of the islands of Hawaii. And, we might be able to do a Create Paradise event, which would be pretty awesome.
Great, Alexandra. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So do we, is Ted on the line so we can, we have
Let me go see if he's here. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm walking back across the room. Let's see if he has joined us. Otherwise, I will call him.
Alexandra, in the meantime, can we see if anybody has any questions for Manira or me?
Okay, let me click on and see who has questions. Area code 831. 831, do you have a question? Hello? Okay. Area code 509. Area code 509, do you have a question?
That's me. I've
Hello?
been waiting. This is Ted. I've been waiting an hour and a half to come on.
Oh,
hello.
Ted. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
you asked me to call, and so I've been waiting an hour and a half to come on. So anyway, I'm
all
here.
right. Oh, I'm sorry. I clicked on. Okay, whatever. Go ahead, Alexandra. Just take it away.
Okay. Ted, I'm so glad I was trying to get a hold of you before this show. Ted went to Peru and on a journey of well-being to enjoy the pristine beauty of Peru and the sacred sites. And Ted is a wonderful radio host, bringing together the Federation of Light and also Galactic Beings of Light on his show Out of This World Radio. So we're connecting hearts across the land and sending love and light, to those areas that could use a little extra TLC. So we'd love for you to share your journey with us and inspirations and your vision for Nova Earth. And then if you have any questions for Dr. Ali, if you had any questions on nutrition, he'd be happy to answer.
Well, thank you so much for letting me come on today. Your wonderful show today. I'll tell you a story. I got in at 2:00 in the morning this morning from Peru by Mexico City and Vancouver, Canada. And frankly, I had such a good time that within a couple of hours after I woke up, I checked the airfares again, and I bought another round-trip ticket to Peru again, this time for end of January into February, because it was such an amazing experience I had. Also, they're having a seat sale now that you can go for as little as $350, $360 round trip from Victoria, Vancouver, Seattle area, all the way down to Lima, Peru, on some good airlines with direct connections. And I decided to take a group down there. I've told a couple of friends about it this afternoon. I'm already getting people signed up. But on my trip, it was such an amazing experience. I went to Machu Picchu, and I'm a psychic, and so I've been in touch with the other side for the past 23, 24 years. And an ancient Inca spirit, Indian spirit, came to me, and he's with me now, and he's been guiding me. And while I was up there at Machu Picchu, I ran across it's a series of 16 sacred water springs, which were used by the ancient Incas back several thousand years ago to do their prayers. And they came to me, and so I did prayers with them up there. And while I was doing it, I had these Inca spirits come to me. Then entities from the Pleiades came in with me, and they're with me here tonight, actually, help me do my prayers and my work. And I ended up going from Machu Picchu over to the Nazca Lines. I don't know if you're familiar with the Nazca Lines or not, but there are a series of geometric formations that you can see from several thousand feet up, and you can see them also. If you get just a little bit above the ground, you can look down and see all these really fascinating drawings of like monkeys. There's an astronaut, there's a hummingbird, there's a condor, all these geometrical shapes. And while I was there, I also linked up with 3 different shamans from the Andes. And they mentioned to me a Hopi Indian prophecy, which said that when the condor and the eagle link together, there will be world peace. And the eagle refers to the United States. The condor refers to South America. And so they've invited me back, and they want me to spread the message of their message up here in North America, and to bring people down from North America down into South America. There is so much we don't know about South America and the incredible history they've got there. From the Nazca Lines, I visited. Well, there's a couple things that happened. I went to a museum in a place called Paracas. Paracas is a beautiful resort town right on the Pacific. It's about 4 hours by bus from Lima, the capital of Peru. And in this museum, Alexandra, I'll ask you, guess what they had in this museum?
I'm gonna guess crystals.
No. I know you probably don't guess on who go on and on about whether there's extraterrestrial life beyond this planet, and about having proof. Well, in this museum,
we don't.
No,
that's what most of my shows are about. Yes, please talk about the ETs. That's my Kuliana. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Right. Well, in this museum, it's a very small museum, and it's amazing, really. I've heard of it up here in Seattle, and I went into this museum. It's a very small museum. Not even most locals know about it there. So you step into this museum, and you're greeted by dozens and dozens of extraterrestrial skulls, and also hybrid ET and human skulls as well. And you can tell they're ET skulls because, for example, one of them was a skull of a gray with these huge openings for big eyes. There was one, and I've got a picture of it. And then others were the skulls had these really huge elongated heads. Yeah. And most humans have sutures in their skulls. And that allows, of course, the baby to come through the mother's womb. And it allows the skull, of course, to collapse, to make it smaller when it comes out of the womb. But these skulls didn't have any sutures. In other words, they were smooth. And I meditated, and I got the message they were actually hatched from eggs, and they were hybrid human-reptilian entities, which were incubated there in the Paracas Nazca Line area, maybe 5,000 years ago. And you find this museum full of it, and it's called the Juan Navarro Museum. And again, very few people know about it. The entrance fee, I think, is about $2 to get in. But I've got all kinds of pictures on it, and I'll be having a show on.
Fascinating. I'd love to see if you could shoot us a picture or two. I will. I wouldn't want you to give them all, but just something to tease us, and we can link it through to your show.
Oh, yeah, no problem. And then wherever I travel, I also ask for and receive protection from my Galactic Alliance friends. They usually send anywhere between 3 to 5 spacecraft out to protect me in my travels, and I could see them there in the night sky when I was down in Peru. But I had such an incredible experience. I'm going back again January 23rd through February 7th. Mm-hmm. And in addition to, of course, we fly into Lima. Then we would fly up to Cusco. Cusco is a beautiful city. The vibrations are very high. As a psychic, I'm very sensitive to vibrations. And as soon as I got off the plane, landing in Cusco, I could feel my vibrations go way up. And it's also kind of a spiritual center of Peru as well. There's a lot of psychics there, a lot of spiritual shaman there, and then from there I went to Machu Picchu and did some prayer work up there. I got kind of worn out one day, especially because I took a bus up to the top of Machu Picchu, and then I decided to walked back down this very steep hill to get back down to where I was staying in my hotel, and it was like, I don't know, it was about a 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 feet drop, and I ended up wore out my back and muscles, and so I've been kind of hobbling since then. I feel better today, but it's not something I want to repeat again.
You overdid it.
Yeah, I overdid it.
I was afraid of that too. That I would just if I went on something like that, I'd be like, I'd overdo it. Or I'd get up there and it's like, oh, how would I get back? You know. Bring me the donkey. Anyway.
Okay, but hey, Ted, like our space friends, you know, like I go on my gratitude walk in the morning and sunset, and I have ships all the time. I see them. They don't fully decloak, but they always kind of land, and I say, okay, you can scan me. I have perfect health, you know. And I always say hi to them, but are we able, if they were to decloak, is it possible that we could start to travel like that with our star family? For instance, like if I was like, hey guys, I really want to meet Ted, can you guys, you know, pick me up and I'd like to join Ted and just can we start to travel like that? And or energetically, you know, like say power up Arcturian shields, power up diamond shields, you know, I'm going to increase my vibratory rate so I can, you know, basically disassemble myself, board a ship, travel to where I want to be, and then reassemble myself? Are we that we're in this age of creating a galactic society? And you had spoken, I believe, on the last show. You were saying that, you know, they're in great shape, and they, you know, and that's one of the reasons, you know, I feel like keeping my body, you know, drinking pure water. We go to aquifers to get our water, and, you know, keeping the food sources as pure as possible, because on the ships, you know, they've got pure energy. But do you see that on our horizon, that we can start to, you know, actually travel because onboard ships as opposed to... Do
you mind if I bring in bring in one of my spirit friends to help answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
I don't like to bother him unless it's a specific question, because he's really pretty busy on the other side. But let me hold on here. Okay, good. Okay, I've got Nostradamus here, and I just asked him about the timeline. He says speed it up. He said that that's going to be possible within 10 years. One of the problems is that our government, the United States government, has been associated with a group of tyrannical extraterrestrials for the past, at least since the early 50s. Mm-hmm. And right now it's still too dangerous to do anything like that. Although most of them have left planet Earth, there's still a few left, and there's also the humans who've been interacting with them, and they're mind controlled and kind of automatic pilot. But it will be possible to do that in the near future. I know that I had a program that I broadcast live from Cusco in Peru a week ago, and if you go to my website, www.outofthisworld1150.com, and click on recent guests, you can listen to my interview. I think it was on October 13th for both hours, where I had 3 Inca shaman, and then Nostradamus came through, as well as Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy and Jackie Kennedy were both with me on the trip, and they're here with me now. You're welcome to ask questions if you want. But Nostradamus, I don't like to bother unless I've got a specific question, because he's usually a pretty busy guy. They're all busy.
Yeah, I think you may have heard earlier, about new councils, because we know we've been up against, the other powers that were, and now, we're in conversation, collaboration with one another. This is the TJ with Revolution Radio. We've got the Physicians Committee bringing in the healthy foods, Janet and Dr. Lesson, loving relationships, and, really body, mind, fitness, and the fact that we are part of something so incredible. It's just people have been so busy trying to pay their mortgage, that they haven't necessarily had the time to develop their spiritual unlimitedness and really tap into true treasures that they are. I'd love to ask, JFK and, just for your support, as and the Galactics, of course, that we can really bring together a beautiful council to help introduce, our brothers and sisters to the incredible, paradise planet we live on and to the true treasures within each of them. I like to think that there's been a lot of shuffling of gold and diamonds, but the true treasure is each and every person on this planet has this, unlimited creativity if they only could be supported to grow and expand that creativity. And I feel that's the shift of the age, is creating a culture based in love,
Yeah, I was wondering if we could really utilize. So you said Jackie and who's here? Jackie and John are both here.
Yeah, Jack Kennedy and Jackie, his wife. He asked for Jackie to come along, and I said sure. Yeah,
okay.
They're both here.
I wanted to ask them, how was that getting back together after being apart, after the death and Jackie went on and married what was his name, Onassis. What was that reunion like?
Well, first off, let me back up a little bit. She felt like she had to leave the United States and marry the Onassis, who was a Greek businessman, because she felt like she would have been murdered as well if she'd stayed around close to the United States. And Onassis had the power and the wherewithal to really protect her, and he appreciated him so much. Once Jack was on the other side, I'm meditating now, talking to him. He said that he was happy that she could get away and get out of the United States and be protected by Onassis. And it's a little different. I mean, if you're asking questions of like, of course he missed her and wanted to be with her, but he was happy for her. And now that he never left her heart. If that's what you mean.
I know that people love who they love through many lifetimes. We rotate. We sometimes are, with each other and with other people, and that's not on the highest level. We're not petty and jealous like we are on the human level. But I just wondered, like they were apart, and I know there was probably total, love and forgiveness and understanding about what was required in order to keep her incarnate until it was time for her to pass in a more natural way. But I just am envisioning, what was that like for them getting back together? He died in her arms. That was very traumatic. What was that like for them being able to reconnect after such incredible trauma and what she had to endure, how brave she had to be, how she had to face the world and, carry on without him, especially raising the children. What would they like to share about what that was like for them?
I have one word that they both told me. When they got back together, there's only one word that could describe it or attempt to. That was beautiful. That was really, really beautiful, beyond bliss. It was especially difficult for her because she knew when she was on Air Force One on the plane going back to Washington, D.C., with that monster, Lyndon Baines Johnson, who had just participated in the murder of her husband, forcing her to stand with him as Johnson gets sworn in as president. She said it was the most disgusting thing she ever was forced to do in her entire life, especially when she knew what he had done. And then the sad thing is that as the years passed after Jack was murdered on November 22nd, 1963, to see all those killings, needless, senseless killings of both Americans and Vietnamese and other people in Vietnam for a war that should have never happened. Jack said that he'd already issued the order to start withdrawing troops by the 1st of January 1965, early January 65, we would have been completely out of Vietnam. But in history would have been very, very different. He had ordered, for example, complete disclosure of all UFO files 10 days before he was murdered. And the planet would have ascended. We would have ascended so much more quickly than we are now. But the good thing is that this planet is slated for ascension, and we're kind of picking up now where things left off back in the early 60s. And the cabal, the negative entities, whoever you want to call them, they can't stop it. They simply cannot stop it. No matter what they do, no matter how many false flag events they stage, like in the tragic shootings in Vegas, which Jack tells me was a false flag. There was a lot more than just one shooter, and it was all planned ahead of time. No matter what they do, it's not going to work. Sorry, their time has passed. You know, they've altered the history of the United States and the entire world since November 22nd, 1963. They've had their chance, and it's gone now, and I'm sorry. But the other thing that's happening, too, is that what's called the Schumann resonance, the frequency of the planet, is dramatically going up and away. For tens of thousands of years, the Schumann resonance was at 7.8 hertz. Then, in September of last year, more than a year ago, jumped up to 13.8 hertz. December of last year, it went to 36 hertz. Then in January of 2017, it went to 40 hertz. In May, it's rocketed to 120 hertz. I'm not sure what it is now, but I'm getting 180, 170 hertz. And I'm told that within the next 2 or 3 years, it's going to go much, much higher to 800 hertz. Now, what will life be like when it goes to 800 hertz? And this is just the beginning. Really? Negative governments, people who are negative will not be able to continue being negative or their ways. As an example, the Chinese government will completely collapse. All my spirit friends tell me within the next 2, max 3 years, because it's a tyrannical government based upon negative help from the reptilians, and they cannot continue operating the way they have been. And that means that the Tibetan people will gain freedom, and it's going to be a time of turmoil in China after the next 3 years. It's going to be I wouldn't want to be there myself, but things are going to shake out, and it's going to become a much better and happier place than it is now. It doesn't matter how much money they've got. It doesn't matter what kind of military they've got. It doesn't matter that they have a lot of resources. Sorry, the negative ways of that government is going on the out, and it's coming now. It's happening now, but it's happening also all over the world. Many negative people and governments and corporations will not be able to continue their negative ways that like they have been. People are looking for spiritual answers, and they're also, the vibrations of this planet are really, really rising. I'll give you an example. Machu Picchu has become an extremely, extremely popular place. It's one of the most spiritual. And they told me this when I was in Peru, that back in 1985, there were only like 100,000 people visiting Machu Picchu every year. You know how many people visit Machu Picchu yearly now?
How many people visit?
1.2 million plus, so you're getting plus 100,000 plus every month coming on average to Machu Picchu.
I have a couple questions about that. So, well, first of all, the other question I had for the Kennedys, thank you for coming. I love you guys. I grew up with you. Was what was it like when your son joined you and his wife, and what happened? That he was killed?
Well, the same people who murdered Jack Kennedy also murdered Martin Luther King, also murdered Robert F. Kennedy. They've had a string of assassinations since that time, including his son, because they thought that just to be sure, they didn't want his son doing the same thing that his father did. So that I think mentioned something about a plane crash, and it was easily falsified, but they did him in too. But once again, their efforts are going to fail, and it doesn't matter how many people they murder, how many people they take out. It's going to fail. They've had their chance, and what's happening is that negative entities, like Lyndon Baines Johnson, like George Bush Sr. and Jr., they will not be allowed to reincarnate on planet Earth again because they've been given their chance. And for those entities who do not want to go with the new higher vibrations, there's a new Earth-like planet in the lower parts of the third dimension on the other side of the solar system that's already been created. It's already there, and some of the negative entities from this planet are already going there. And they'll be able to work out their karma for the next 25,800 years, which is a mind cycle. And as Nikola Tesla has told me, energy once created is never destroyed. It transforms itself, and those entities will be sent there. Well, they'll be able to work out their karma for the next 25,800 years, and then they'll be given a chance to ascend. Now, personally, I think that's a long time. Perhaps in universal history, it's not a long time, but I think that's a long time to go. But that's their choice. They've chosen the negative path, and that's where they'll go to work out their karma. For many of us, you and I talking on this program, will be ascending to the new higher levels, and the biggest change that Jack Kennedy's told me is that during his day, in his administration in the early 60s, change was coming from the top down. In other words, from his administration and like-minded progressive people to make this country and the world a better place. And it reminds me now of his Ask Not speech. Ask not what you can do, what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country to make this place a better place for the world and for humanity. But the kinds of changes happening back then were coming from top down. Now, however, it's different. Now the changes are coming, most of them are coming from bottom up, from people like you and me who are working together to make this planet a better place. And that's how I'm seeing things happening. I didn't realize how important Machu Picchu is, and to see. I had such a good time there that I've been back in the United States less than 24 hours, and I'm already buying another ticket. I just bought another ticket to go back down there at the end of January. So if anybody wants to join me, the cost is like only $497 per person. Airfare right now, you can get down there round trip for $350, $370 round trip. Hotels cost between $7 to $20 a night. Meals $1. I mean, the expenses are so minimal once you get down there, and I've got some incredible things already lined up, and I've got invitations from the shamans to come back, so you'd meet some really incredible people. So if you're interested, if I may, I'd love to give out my my email. People are interested, they can just send me an email.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just put this trip together like barely 7 or 8 hours ago. I've already got people signing up now. I've told a couple of friends about it, said they're already wanting to come. My email is outofthisworld1150@gmail.com. That's outofthisworld1150@gmail.com. I will also get something on my website this weekend. My website is www.outofthisworld1150.com. But it's an incredible experience. And you know that when things are supposed to happen, it'll go very smoothly. And it's funny how I come back to the back home here to the Seattle area at 2:00 in the morning today, and I check on the internet for airfares, and all the airfares have dropped just to rock bottom prices. I mean, if you're listening, for example, from Los Angeles, it's now like, I think JetBlue has a special for $400 round trip. Normally, those airfares run between $1,200 to $1,500 round trip. I mean, it's dropped really, really, really low. And so
you are quite the manifester. You're making that happen. You did it. Oh,
Ted, I was like, hey, Ted manifests a ticket to Peru. I got to manifest one to Hawaii. And now they're half off, like $350, $500. But
no, they're like 70% off, 60 and 70% off their normal price. I mean, normally you pay $1,200 to $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's good, but we've got like a Create Paradise team forming. Raja, Ted, Moonra. She would like to be part of the nutrition part. Dr. Ali has expressed interest.
Great, be wonderful.
Yeah, so I feel like synergy.
It'd be wonderful.
Yeah, but let's invite our, the powers that were friends. We support them wholeheartedly to get a ticket to that other planet. And let us. We've got another planet
for
them.
I just wanted to tell you we're almost out of time. So we'll have you back, Ted, but please do tell us how do people get in touch with you and your website and how they buy the tickets again. Or a phone or whatever. Say that one more time. Yeah.
Yeah. You can call me on my cell anytime if you like at 509-750-9793. I also have a toll-free number at 1-888-879-8339. My website is www.outofthisworld1150.com. You can email me always to outofthisworld1150@gmail.com. I also have a television program as well. I've got, I think, about 50 episodes on YouTube right now. I broadcast on Channel 22, Comcast 2022 here in Lower Seattle area. But, my friends, the future is so bright and so beautiful for all of us. And if you hear doom and gloom from anybody, especially on the media, please turn your television off.
Good idea. What are you finding is the purpose of Machu Picchu? With your guides and your connection. We have time. It's a portal. Who built it?
The Incas built it as a spiritual city, actually, and then what they did is that they shielded it because they spiritually shielded it because they knew the Spanish were coming. I mean, they were well ahead of the game, and so it wasn't until I think 400 or 500 years later in 1911 that an American actually found it, and he was looking for some other city in South America, and he stumbled across it, because the Spaniards would have come in and completely decimated the place, looking for gold, but it's spiritually protected. The Spanish had the audacity to tear down a lot of Inca monuments, beautiful Inca monuments, and use the stones from these monuments to build churches and whatnot in Cusco. They did that throughout Peru, whatever they could find. And
I know that's why I want to invite these powers forward to just go ahead and transition over to the other planet, and we'll let us. I mean, we're here to anchor in. And also encourage everybody on the call, wrap yourself in an invincible shield of pure cosmic white light. That's really what the love cocoon is. And, it also helps you create an invincible shield around yourself so you can go about your day, like Raja, whistling while you work or singing a happy tune. Because the more you stay in your fun and your joy cord, that means you're amplifying the light and love around the planet. And they try to wheel you, with the media, but don't pay attention to fall.
Yeah.
Okay, we're down to the last few seconds. Let's please give that to Ted. Go ahead, Ted. You get the final words.
Fun pictures,
well,
Ted.
I have a whole bunch of pictures, and I'll get them to you. I tried to send them to you from South America, but my phone didn't work. If you could see me now, the way the Pleiadians greet each other is that they take one of their hands and put it right over their heart and bow their head. The Lemurians, which is an ancient Pleiadian civilization, put both of their hands over their heart. And I have several entities from Lemuria with me from the Hollow Earth. And I want to thank you all for the opportunity to come on your show tonight. And if you want a truly spiritual adventure for not a lot of money, I mean, you probably get the whole trip done for maybe $1,000, if that. At the end of January, it's January 23rd to February 7th. Please send me an email, and I can send you all the details. I already have people signing up. I expect it to be full within a week. So send me an email if you'd like to come along, and I guarantee you'll have an incredible, out-of-this-world time.
What's the date again? Tell us the date.
Okay.
Yeah, January 23rd, February 7th.
23rd to the 7th.
Okay, we're going to get disconnected in 2 seconds. Aloha, love, and blessings.
Okay, thank you so much, my friend.
Have you heard? Metro by T-Mobile now includes Amazon Prime. Yes, enjoy the best of shopping and entertainment, movies, TV shows, music, free shipping, and much more. All included for just $40 per line for 3 lines. All on the T-Mobile network. Discover the smarter way. Metro by T-Mobile. That's genius. One offer per account. Offer subject to change. $12.99 per month value. Offer valid for new Amazon Prime members. Metro customers may notice reduced speeds versus some T-Mobile customers. Video at 480p. Capable device required. See store for details and terms and conditions.